Welcome to another session of Finding Your Clarity and Direction. This one is titled What Lies Beneath. Simone's confusion knew no bounds. Externally, if you've seen Simone or somebody very similar like her, she's someone who's an excellent performer, a leader with 15 years of work experience. She maintains a quite healthy work life and she's quite successful in her profession. She has also been in charge of a large team and which she handles really well. But that's the external state of Simone. When we get to learn the internal state of Simone, she's confused, disengaged at work, dissatisfied, constantly comparing herself and coveting. A lot is hidden, and there are a huge pile of blocked emotions. Friends, if you observe, most of us are like Simone. We may come across to a lot of people as extremely happy, satisfied with our jobs, our role, quite successful, confident, but our internal states are very different from our external state. And today in this session, I would like to share with you how we can explore and understand what lies beneath. Simone, with her internal state and her constant comparison, was coming across to others exactly as others come across to her as being very healthy and successful. But deep down, there was something amiss, and she just couldn't put a finger on what exactly, where, and why it is wrong. Sometimes when she was in this mode of constant comparison, she herself didn't understood why was she comparing it so much, and why does this comparison is having a huge impact on her. So I told someone in our coaching assignment that went on for 2 months that let's first figure out what lies beneath. And to do so, we need to tap into our belief systems. So one of the first things that I gave someone to help her understand what really was amiss was a very powerful 4-step method. And in this, it was to first understand and explore how our belief system plays a key and a pivotal role influencing specifically our internal state. So these are the 4 steps, what you see on your screen. And in the first step, I asked Simone, I said, Simone, let's first identify the source of your trigger. Now, friends, I would also like to mention here, even though this has been a long 2-month coaching assignment, what I'm sharing with you, with all due permission from my client, is a sneak peek from her case and a very brief details. And the intention here is to help you understand that if you find yourself in similar situations like that of Simone, you could also use these techniques and find your way out. So the first step, I asked Simone to, while she narrated why she felt confused, what was the reason that she constantly compared, I said, okay, let's first identify where this whole thing starts, the trigger. So I gave her this 5 elements that you see here on the screen: work, marriage, money and health, wealth, life's purpose, happiness and fulfillment. Now, these are not casted in stone and there's no step to it. This basically I gave her based on the 2-hour narration of Simone and her entire life and all that was happening in it, and I could connect a lot of dots. So on purpose, I picked these 5 from the story she told me, and I said, Simone, these are the 5 elements. Now I would like you to help me come up with the meanings you attach to these. So the step 2 was for work, marriage, money and wealth, life's purpose, happiness and fulfillment. I asked Simone that tell me what meaning you hold, and it should be very, very individualistic, very specific to you. It doesn't have to be a generic definition. And help me understand how you really, what meaning do you attach to this term called work? So in her words, it was a means of earning her livelihood. For her, marriage was a commitment to life. For her, money and wealth was she just needed, but just enough. So this is something very important, and I'll tell you in a minute how it unfolded. Then on life's purpose, she said that this was one area that she had actually, this life purpose has actually not really ever given a thought on it. She thought it was something very philosophical and that she was known to be a philosopher. So she never thought I should pursue or kind of ever even think on it. So her answer was, I don't know. She's never got into this particular area. So I said, it's okay, fine. And then when I asked her the meaning she attached to the happiness and fulfillment, her belief was that she always sought it. She was in a way chasing happiness, but it always tried to evade her because she felt in comparison to her and the whole world outside, she was the only one who was not very happy, and she found that she used to struggle to be happy and find that while the world is really enjoying, they're happy. I don't know how they know the magic, and they're like all the time she sees picture on social media, people are happy, enjoying, all her friends, colleagues, her family, her acquaintance, and she always thought this is something that maybe she is not very fortunate enough. So I said, okay, let's move on to the step 3. Then I asked her, now that we know the meanings, now you tell me the source of the statement. What I mean by this was, where did she got this meaning or belief coming in from? So we found that the meaning that she attached to it is more of the upbringing years, and she's been observing her parents. Both were working professionals. So this is from where she also felt, I mean, she got this belief, and that's what she believed in. Then on marriage, it was driven by her family values. She's been an ardent observer of her parents, and of one of her aunts she was very close to. So that's where she got these values and these beliefs. Money and wealth, when she says, I'm not greedy, this was again what was taught to her in her young years. Life purpose, as I said, she never gave enough thought to it, so we kind of left it here. Happiness and fulfillment, again, she used to compare herself, because in her narration she also explained how she was compared to her cousins of her age, and also to her friends when she was a teenager, and many more experiences that she shared, which kind of filled her with this thought that happiness it comes to those who are very fortunate, and she thought she was not. And thus I gave her the step 4. I said, fine, now that you understood the source, let's pick up any 2 key beliefs from this entire list, and we deep dive into it, because here's where we will try to explore what lies beneath. So we picked up from the 5. In fact, she had actually close to 14. What I'm sharing with you is just a glimpse of one part of it. So step 4, these 2 were picked up, and we moved ahead by exploring what lies beneath. Now, friends, this 4-step method, the very idea of this was to help Simone, first of all, get in touch with the words and her inner chatter, plus the meanings she attached or associated with each of these to what was really happening in her life. This is a very powerful method to actually put our thoughts in perspective. And This was followed by another technique, which I had clubbed here, first to find what meanings she associated with each of these words. Along with that, followed up with another technique, which I'll just show. This is expressive writing. So along with the belief and the meanings Simone associated with the various elements of life, as I mentioned earlier, I clubbed it with another technique, which was expressive writing. This was also with help of few journal prompts. And if you're not aware of what exactly expressive writing is, friends, there has been a recent research by the top leading neuroscience associations, which has gone to prove that expressive writing has also been quite beneficial and effective in not just helping us find clarity when we find ourselves stuck or confused in life, but also to an extent of healing our trauma. But in case of Simone, I gave her few journal prompts based on the narrations she had shared with me, and clubbing that with the belief, four-step belief system, the meanings she associated with them, clubbing both, this helped Simone gain and understand what exactly lied beneath. So moving ahead with what we had earlier seen, these were the two beliefs basically which we carried forward, and basis on this, money and wealth, happiness and fulfillment, we kind of worked further on it. Now I just picked up these two, and basis on this, why am I constantly repeating this, that basis on this is actually this is just a one part of the work that I have done with Simone. There's actually a lot of detail that went into the 14 elements we discovered to the story she has narrated. What I'm sharing with you here is just these two beliefs, and basis on it, I came up with her for this just 4 journal prompts. In fact, I gave her not 4 but 25, but here I'm just sharing with you the 4. And this is where the expressive writing comes into picture. So based on the two beliefs, we deep dive to understand what exactly lies beneath. So when you see this, these 4 questions, the first thing, this one, what is enough for you? The first question, this comes in from when Simone gave the statement. If you remember, I earlier said this. On money and wealth, what she just needed was needed, but just enough. And I'm not greedy. So I asked her, Simone, tell me, what's enough for you? What exactly do you mean by that? Define enough and explain it in detail. Friends, we may all have different meanings of enough for each one of us, because each one of us, our life, our journeys are unique. What is enough for me may not be the same for you. So in case of Simone, she gave her own version of what was enough for her. Then I gave her a hypothetical question of what will you do if you have an unlimited supply of money, followed by describe the time and day when you will achieve happiness. What really has to happen here? You need to describe this to me in detail. Now, these 2 questions, these are called future pacing questions. And this is where we help a person who's quite confused and seeking clarity to put themselves into a future situation, a hypothetical one, and help them figure out what exactly it would mean for them. So when I put Simone into this situation and gave her these questions, I also gave her some time to think over it, reflect, ponder, and come back with an answer. So this was Simone's version, in which she mentioned about her dream of establishing an NGO, followed by, if you closely observe, that her remarks, her comments of what is enough indicate that she was in huge debt. And for her, it was, her definition was something, a situation or a status or a position where she is not in any debt, instead have a considerable amount of money saved in her emergency funds. Again, this may vary for each one of us because each one of us are on a different journey. But using certain journal prompts, which are future-paced and a little bit hypothetical, this helps us really get into our inner self, understand where are our confusions coming in from. This gives you a deep insight into your own needs and wants and helps you understand when you keep coveting, comparing, and thinking you're not really happy, to really understand what is it that you seek help or fulfillment from. In this journey, Simone also found out that there was a goal she's been thinking of pursuing but has been postponing it for almost 7 years now. And with this insight, along with other questions that I had asked her, she was now clear of how to really get there. So the final question, I've not shared the response or answer here, but the question here, I would like to let you know that together we both brainstormed when we learned what really Simone was looking for, of the various action points or work that Simone can do and should not do in order for her to reach her goal. So this was a combination of first exploring one's belief, understanding the meanings we attach to it, clubbing it with expressive writing, and finding her clarity and direction. This can be done by anyone, friends, but may not be able to do it all by yourself. However, if you ever find yourself at work, you're not really happy, you find that you compare a lot rather than being satisfied with what you are actually doing, or you sulk or covet, and you also do not really understand why happiness evades you. What is it that really is the major reason for limiting your growth? One of the best ways that you could arrive at your own answers is to deep dive to understand what lies beneath. Here, with this example, just two powerful techniques of combining meanings and journal prompts helped me and Simone find her goals, including even her purpose, which a question that she never ever had paid attention to. You can do that as well. My coaching assignment with Simone went on for 2 months. If just like Simone, you want to change your life for better, you find yourself stuck for a very long time and seek help, I just want to remind you that you're just one step away from changing it. I look forward to meet you in the coaching session. To apply and enroll, follow the link given in the description of this video. Thank you.